The Baltimore Ravens just turned a 99% win probability into a national meltdown. That's not me exaggerating. With under 5 minutes left, ESPN's model gave them a 99.1% chance to win. That number is supposed to mean game over. And yet, in Buffalo, under the lights, it became the setup for one of the most stunning collapses you will ever see. Today on Sportsepreneur, we're breaking down how the Ravens lost a game they had already started celebrating and how the Bills flipped a funeral into a fireworks show. This is not just a story about football plays. It's a story about psychology, about human nature, and about what happens when one team checks out before the job is finished. For most of the night, Baltimore looked inevitable. Lamar Jackson was carving up Buffalo's defense like he was running a live Madden tutorial. Derrick Henry was mowing down defenders, turning arm tackles into highlights of his own. On defense, the Ravens looked like they had assembled an all-star roster, flying around the ball, daring Josh Allen to beat them over the top. The Bills looked timid. Their offense was bottled up. Their defense was on its heels. And every time Buffalo scratched out points, it felt like handing the ball back to an executioner. And then you saw it. The cameras caught the Ravens sideline in pure celebration mode. Players laughing, high fives all around, body language that screamed, "We've got this." They looked like a team who had already filed the win in the standings. That's where the psychology started to flip, because the game was still going, and Buffalo hadn't quit. The turning point came on one snap. Derrick Henry, who had been punishing Buffalo's front all night, put the ball on the ground, a fumble. And suddenly, the momentum meter tilted ever so slightly. It wasn't panic yet, but you could feel the shift. That mistake cracked the armor. Josh Allen smelled it immediately. What made his performance remarkable wasn't just the numbers. Nearly 400 passing yards, 2 touchdown throws, and 2 scores on the ground. It was how he managed the chaos. He didn't start chucking desperation deep balls. Instead, he threw quick hitches to reset the rhythm. He took the in-breaking routes when the Ravens widened to protect the sideline. And when Baltimore sat in man and turned their backs, Allen tucked it and ran, stealing chunks of yardage and keeping the clock alive. Every decision screamed controlled aggression, not desperation. Then came the throw. A laser to rookie Keon Coleman in the end zone, the kind of ball that threads through impossible traffic. It skimmed just over Dawson Knox's hands, slipped by Khalil Shakir's face mask, and dropped perfectly into Coleman's chest. That touchdown didn't just put points on the board. It forced Baltimore to defend the entire width of the field. Suddenly, the Bills had the whole playbook open. On the next trip, Allen muscled into the end zone himself. And when Matt Prater drilled the walk-off kick, it was Buffalo celebrating while Baltimore stood in shock. The defense deserves credit too. They gave up more than 8 yards per carry to Baltimore, but in the end, they delivered the stop that mattered, Henry's fumble. One snap changed the calculus. That is the cruel beauty of football. You can dominate for 55 minutes and still lose it all in 5. What makes this collapse unforgettable is the psychology. Watching Baltimore's expression change was like watching someone expect dessert, only to watch everyone else at the table get served while they go hungry. The confidence drained from their faces. The team that had been dancing minutes earlier looked like it couldn't process what was happening. That's what sports do better than anything else. They expose the mental game. The Ravens' mistake wasn't just a fumble. It was checking out mentally with time still on the clock. The Bills, they played until the final whistle. They embraced volatility. They trusted their quarterback to guide them through the storm. And they found a way to turn variance into victory. This wasn't a fluke. This was a blueprint. Buffalo proved they don't need miracle 50-50 balls to win. They need composure, rhythm, and a quarterback who knows when to push and when to pull back. That's what Josh Allen delivered. And for Baltimore, this collapse adds another chapter to a painful story. Fans will tell you they've seen this before. The playoff loss to Buffalo last year, the missed opportunities in big moments. You can only touch the hot stove so many times before ownership makes changes. Because in the NFL, 99% is not 100. And celebrating early is the fastest way to find yourself on the wrong side of history. For the full story, visit sportsepreneur.com and subscribe to Quiet Loud Studios for more.